Hey, what's up? It's your girl Erica Rain, and I'm here to give you a little bit more information on my VSG journey and important facts that you should know before considering weight loss surgery in general. Now, first and foremost, what I want to get out the way is I'm not using this as a tool to get skinny fast. You have a lot of people out there saying, oh, y'all getting these surgeries, weight loss surgeries, bariatric surgeries because y'all don't want to put in the work and all of that. Like, it's just a quick, easy way out. Like, y'all just don't want to do the work. And that's not true. Some people's bodies are different, and there's hormones inside of their bodies that are working against them and certain ailments that are working against them. Like, certain people got PCOS, which makes you gain weight. Certain people are on birth control pills, which makes you gain weight. So I just felt like VSG surgery is the best way to help me stay in a healthier weight and to maintain my body goals that I want for my future and to, live a longer, healthier life. You got to understand, we live in a society today where people are going on Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Ozempic, and they're losing a lot of weight. But also, one thing that I've heard from a couple of different people is that as soon as they get off of these drugs, they gain the weight back. And with VSG surgery or bariatric weight loss surgery, you don't gain the weight back as rapidly as some of these other people that are on the Ozempics and the Wegovys. Your weight will tend to stay the same if you follow a healthier eating habit and adapt your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle. So that's what I wanted to get out the way. I'm not doing this as a shortcut or to get up ahead, and I'm just not doing it as a shortcut. One of the first things you'll have to do is you're going to have to see your provider if you're considering weight loss or any type of bariatric surgery. So I went to go see my doctor, and he said that I would be a great candidate. And also, he reaffirmed to me that I'm not going crazy, because in the past, I would be on the Stairmaster 40 minutes and I would burn so many calories, and I would lose a lot of weight. And like I said before in my last video, I've always been in the gym. I've always tried to maintain a healthy weight. I've lost weight to the point where I had excess skin, and I did get a tummy tuck to remove that excess skin after I had my child and went through my whole weight loss journey after having him. So he told me that if your body has been at a certain weight for so long, you have a thermostat in your body in which it'll remember that weight and it'll try to stay to that weight. So the best way to combat that is either a bariatric surgery where they would cut off 80% of your stomach, and it will cut some of those hormones out. And one of the hormones he mentioned was ghrelin, which is a receptor that makes you feel hungry. So a lot of all of those hormones will be cut out with your stomach, but you'll still have the propensity in your brain to okay, you'll know when you're hungry, but it won't be as intense as it was before when you were a bigger person. So he explained that to me. So yes, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to see your PCP, and they're going to tell you whether you're a good candidate or not, because you might, they're just going to let you know all the criteria of what you need to do. So I have a list of things that they gave to me in the process that I've been going to. So a lot of major insurances also, I want to let y'all know, doesn't cover Wegovy and all of that stuff. Wegovy, Mounjaro. So a lot of people don't have access to those drugs, and they tend to use the black market off-brand drugs that aren't so healthy, and that could end up harming them down the road. So that's another thing I wanted to make a point of, is not everybody has access to those drugs or can afford them. Because if you do have insurance, a lot of those Wegovys, Ozempic is very expensive when you're trying to come out of pocket. So that's another reason why I'm considering bariatric surgery, because my insurance provider was like, yeah, we're not gonna cover Wegovy, Mounjaro, Ozempic. It was way too expensive when they gave me the cost. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. But like I said, bariatric surgery was the last resort for me, where I felt okay, long term I'll be good. And even if I did go on Ozempic and came up. I won't gain the weight back. I'll still be able to maintain my weight with a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, I digress. Let me get back on track. So yes. Well, first thing first, once you're approved for your surgery and your doctor say yes, you're a good candidate, you should start the process. They're going to make you do blood work. So there's a lot of blood work involved. So they're going to draw a couple of vials of your blood and everything like that. And they're also going to give you an H. pylori test, because obviously they're going to be doing surgery on your stomach, either cutting 80% of it off or doing the gastric bypass. Excuse me. You'll also be required to see a nutritionist at least 2 to 3 times every month, depending on who your provider is. You may have to see them once a month for 3 months. You may have to see them twice a month for 2 months, you know. Also, they're going to make you see a therapist or a counselor to make sure that your mental is okay, and that you know that, okay, this is a serious surgery that you're going into. Are you sure you want to do this? You know, they're going to see where your mental state of mind is, because some people, you know, have issues and they may have an eating disorder, and they want to rule all of that out. They want to make sure that you're doing this on the right positive note and right terms. Also, they're going to suggest to you whether, depending on what state you're in and who your PCP is, they might say you have to do these things or not. But I live in Connecticut, and these are my guidelines for me and my PCP. Like I said, you might have to see a therapist or a counselor to make sure you're mentally stable to go into this big surgery. And also, they did recommend to me that I join a support group for, you know, after it's all over like that. You have people who are on the same journey on you, who are going through the same things that you can rely on and talk to. I want to let y'all know that I've already seen my nutritionist, and she gave me some important information, and here's the information that you should know. So first and foremost, when you go see your nutritionist, he or she is going to give you a list of the cost of nutrition related products after your weight loss surgery. Your nutritionist is going to tell you everything that you need to know prior to getting this surgery, which is why you have to see them at least two times to 3 times a month. My nutritionist said I'm going to need a lot of multivitamins. Like, I have to have my iron, my B12, my calcium, and my vitamin D are all required daily supplements after surgery for the rest of my life. So when they say the rest of your life, that's some serious stuff. So you'll really have to get these supplements. And another thing I hear is, if you take your vitamins regularly like you're supposed to, your hair will not fall out. So that was very reassuring to me. So I'm guessing people who experience the hair loss after the VSG surgery, maybe they just didn't follow their guidelines, or they didn't take the necessary vitamins that they needed in order to, you know, retain their hair and keep their hair growth journey going. It's very important that you get your protein supplements, is what my nutritionist said. She says you have to have a certain amount of protein intake pre-surgery and post-op surgery. Your nutritionist is also going to give you a list of things to avoid eating and things that are, you know, more healthier that you can eat. She gave me a list of lean proteins, you know, high fat proteins to avoid, non-starchy vegetables, starchy vegetables, and all the cooking oils that have saturated fats, all the good things, you know, all the good stuff. It's important to know that there's a lot of protein shakes involved with this process for the bariatric nutrition. My nutritionist really stressed to me the pre-op shakes, and they have to follow a certain criteria and guideline, because they have to be healthy and they can't be full of sugar. So I'm just gonna tell y'all a list of shakes allowed pre-op. So number 1 was Slim Fast, high protein, not the snack shake, or the original. She said the regular Slim Fast. They're gonna give you a sheet full of this. Some of the brands were Glucerna, Muscle Milk, Ionic protein drinks. And I noticed like a lot of these have at least 16 to 20 grams of protein, so I guess it has to be within that criteria. And the sugar is like literally at least 1 gram of sugar up to like, yeah, like 1 to 15 grams of sugar. No, I'm not even gonna say 15 grams of sugar, like less than that. So they're gonna give you information on what you should be eating protein wise for these shakes. And they also gave me a list of water protein drinks, which I've never heard of. I never knew that like they had water that has protein in it. It was weird for me to see that on my list. But certain things were protein Tubo, a protein drink, and Premier Protein Clear, Bariatric Advantage Clearly, and Celebrate CLR. These are just some of the waters that has the protein in it. They also suggested powders and stuff, like powdered proteins that are good for you pre-op and post-op as well. I'll insert a couple of clips here on the YouTube channel that you can like refer to, just so you can get a gist of the things that you'll need if you're considering bariatric weight loss surgery. So there's also things that you'll need post-op, like I said. And you know, this is a serious thing. They're cutting your stomach like 80% of it off, so it's gonna be like this narrow little belly. So most likely you're not going to be able to eat the same portions that you were used to, and it's like having a brand new stomach all over again. So you're basically reverting back to like kind of eating like a baby. You can only drink shakes and milks, and I think after a couple of weeks later you'll be able to eat ground up food, but you'll at least be able to eat at least 40 ounces of food. Like I said, it may be different for y'all. Some people will probably be able to eat 20 ounces to 40 ounces of food, but you won't be able to consume big portions after this surgery. So yeah, you'll be drinking a lot of shakes and eating a lot of like ground pureed food. So some of the post-op protein shakes, I was very happy to see that Premier Protein was on there. Because I've already been trying to stock up on some of that before my surgery so that I can be prepared. Like, I just want to be prepared all the way around. I'm a single mom and I have to be prepared so that I'll have, you know, my meals situated and I can worry about my son's meals when it comes times for me to actually go under the knife and endure this surgery. So I'll insert a couple of images where you can see like the post-op bariatric protein shakes that they are giving me a list of. And also, as long as they're in the like, it doesn't matter what protein shake you choose, pre-op or post-op, as long as they're within the guidelines of what your nutritionist is saying that you can have a certain amount of sugar, a certain amount of protein, and a certain amount of calories, it's okay to use. Quick side note that I want to really express to you guys: if you're approved for the surgery and your doctor gives you the go-ahead, I 100% do not recommend you going and living out your best fat girl, fat boy fantasies, trying to eat everything that's unhealthy before you go into the surgery. I'm going to really freaking stress this point. Maintain your current big weight. Don't try to gain extra weight. And that's all I'm gonna say, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to try to live out your fat girl fantasies or fat boy fantasies and start eating mad unhealthy shit. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you know what? Let me try to be like live out my little fat girl fantasies. So I started like getting ice creams and like, you know, eating junk food and everything, because I'm like, I'm not going to be eating like this after my surgery. Don't do it. start trying to at least maintain your weight and eating healthy meals, because I'm telling you now, you're gonna pay for it in the end if you gain more weight than you want to, and it's gonna take you a longer time to get down to your goal weight. So don't do that. But yeah, back to what I was saying before about these post-op bariatric nutrition shakes. You're gonna get a lot of variety of these, different types of shakes that you can get from your nutritionist. Yeah, so you're gonna get a lot of variety of what you can have from your nutritionist, and if it falls into the criteria that they're saying, you can have it. But yes, guys, that's all I really wanted to say for the time being. But I really want to get into some deeper things, because this is the biggest I've ever been and I've ever felt. And I'm just so tired of being in this. I'm just so tired of being a big girl. Like,
what did you do then?
I shut my fat ass up.
Like, I'm rocking around here with a big bag. Like, when I got on the scale and I looked at the number, I'm like, yo, like, I'm built like a linebacker. I'm out here with a big bag.
Big bag, big bag, big bag, big bag. Yeah, my bag is loaded up with snacks and different food.
Big backing all day, and I just don't want to be like that no more. Like, I want to maintain my weight. I want to be healthy. I want to look good, and I want to feel good like I did when I was like younger, when I had lost weight before. I've been skinny, I've been fat, I've just fluctuated a lot throughout the years.
See, I've been fat and I've been skinny, bitches still ain't fucking with me. Never.
And now that I'm in my 30s, like, I really want to make some permanent changes, and I want to feel good and live a healthier lifestyle permanently, because, like I said, I'm a single mother and I have to be here for my son. And this is like really vulnerable for me to document this, because I don't feel my sexiest. I don't feel that I look good. When I look in the mirror, like, I'm just not feeling good. And like, sometimes I wake up and I try to avoid the mirror altogether, because I don't like what I'm seeing in the mirror. It's not the person that I'm used to, and I feel like I'm trapped in my freaking body sometimes. So yeah, this is like a really vulnerable situation for me, because anybody who knows me knows that I'm a private person, that I keep things to myself. I don't like to let people into my business very often. The only people that I let know what's going on with inside my life is my mom and my sisters. And even when it comes to my sisters, I don't even tell them a lot of my business, what's going on with me. Like, so I like to keep things for myself and to myself. So for me to be sharing this journey, like, it's a lot for me, but it's also my catharsis to not keep everything bottled up inside of me, but to share the world, like, my journey and what I've been going through and the struggles that I've had. It sucks when you see some people that you're close to. Like, I've had friends who have been on Wegovy for so long, to the point where they're like really skinny and they're living their like slim thick girl life, and I'm still sitting here trying to like lose all the weight and stay in the gym and follow a healthier lifestyle, and the weight is just not coming off. Like, it really sucks. Like I said before, some people have access to these drugs and others don't. And when it came to my situation, like, my insurance was not covering the cost of the Wegovy, the Ozempic. Like, the only thing that I can tell you guys is that I've been on Ozempic for a week, and honestly, I didn't like the way it was making me feel. Like, I would feel sick all the time, and I don't know, I would just get cramps in my body. It was a drug that I didn't feel like was for me. So, and also my insurance wasn't just, they only covered it for 7 days, and that was it. And I felt terrible on it. Also, metformin was something that I was on before, and I didn't like the way that that made my body feel. Like, I was sick on that, but I know that feeling sick is a side effect to some of these drugs, but you shouldn't have to feel sick and weak in order to lose weight. That's like, I don't know. I don't think that's normal. Like, you shouldn't have to feel sick taking these pills and having all of these side effects. It's just not good. Like, I just didn't like it. And then another weight loss drug that I was on that I had to pay out of pocket was phentermine. And phentermine was working, but it was just the cost was adding up with that. The cost. And the side effects were very crazy, because the first time I took phentermine, when I tell you my heart was beating outside of my chest, like it sounded like my heart was bouncing like a basketball. You know the sound of a basketball bouncing? That's how my heart was sounding when I was taking phentermine. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I was literally going to have a fucking heart. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I thought I was going to have a heart attack while I was taking the phentermine. And I lost so much weight within a couple of days on phentermine. And I was like, oh no, I can't keep going through with this, because my heart is beating uncontrollably. And I think I'm going to have a heart attack and die because of this medication. So I stopped taking it. And I was like, no. So I did the phentermine a couple of years prior, and then I tried to do it again this year in 2025, and the side effects weren't that bad, but I still didn't like how it was making my body feel. And I'm going to stress to you, listen to your body, listen to how your body responds to any of these weight loss drugs that you're on. Your body knows what's best. It will tell you if something is wrong, and if you don't feel good about it, don't take it. So if you don't want to take that metformin, don't take it, especially if you're not a diabetic. Like, don't take it. But if you are pre-diabetic and stuff like that, and you have diabetes and you're required to take it, then unfortunately you're going to have to take it and learn to adapt with those, learn to adapt with all that comes with taking that drug, whether it's the side effects, everything. You're going to have to adapt to it. And I'm sorry, but it's just, it is what it is. But, yeah, like, this has just been a crazy time in my life where I just have not been feeling good about myself, and I want to feel good about myself again. Like, I need my confidence back, because in the past I was, doing my little modeling here and there. I was trying to work on my music and everything and really put myself to the forefront, and then gaining weight, losing weight, and then you got to deal with, oh, I'm getting older, so your body changes, your hormones change. It's stress factors in life when life be life, and so it is a lot. And I'm just looking forward to getting back to who I used to be prior to all of this stuff, prior to even having a kid. Like, I want to get back to who I used to be. Like, as a single mom, I know a lot of single moms out there devote their time to their children, or a lot of single fathers devote their time to their children. But you have to understand that you was you before you had your children. So it's always important to maintain a sense of autonomy in yourself. Like, feel like yourself. When, as a parent, you're feeling good, you'll be able to give more to your children. When you're thriving in your life mentally, physically, and emotionally, you'll be able to give so much more in your daily life. And that's what this journey really truly is about for me. It's to get in check mentally, physically, and spiritually. Like, I want to realign myself back to the brass tacks, and I really just need to get back to my default settings, but also still maintain growth and, be a better person for myself and my son. So I hope all of this information that I gave you in this segment was very helpful, and I hope that, that I made you realize, like, whether you want to go on this weight loss journey, if you're going to consider bariatric weight loss journey, I hope that the information has helped you in a certain way, like, and to really consider your options, when thinking about weight loss. And I really wish y'all the best of luck if you are on a weight loss journey, and I hope this helps you. So stay tuned for more. Hopefully in a couple of more weeks, like, I'm gonna be getting all like my supplies that I need, and I'll go through that with y'all. So in the meantime, I want y'all to hit the like and subscribe button to keep up with me, and stay tuned for what's next. So that's it, y'all. Have a good one. Peace.